The jungle pressed in on all sides, thick vines twisting like living chains, leaves dripping with humid rain and alien dew. I stumbled over a massive root, heart racing as every snap of a twig or rustle of unseen leaves set nerves on edge. Ilara, the alien princess, moved with silent grace beside me, her glowing eyes scanning the undergrowth for threats. Her hand rested briefly on my shoulder, steadying me, and a warmth spread through my chest I had never felt before. Humans endure by relying on instinct, observation, and teamwork, yet her calm confidence inspired me to move faster, think sharper. We paused to catch our breath, listening to the jungle's deep, echoing calls, aware predators lurked unseen. Twisting roots blocked many paths, but her sharp gaze found a passage where none seemed possible. Villagers we were escorting followed silently, trusting her judgment over their own fear. Every subtle gesture from her, hand on arm, quiet nod, sent courage rushing through me. The oppressive jungle no longer felt as threatening with her guiding us forward. Rain began to fall lightly, hot acidic droplets hissing against wet leaves, creating a fine mist that clung to armor and skin. Ilara adjusted her cloak to shield both of us, her movement fluid and natural, radiating authority and reassurance. I led a small group of human scouts, improvising traps and marking safe zones while trying to predict predator ambushes. Humans survive through adaptation, strategy, and quick thinking, but her trust in my actions elevated my confidence. Twisting roots threatened to entangle our feet, but her steadying presence guided each step. Villagers moved in quiet precision, taking cues from her example of courage and subtle encouragement. Predators' glowing eyes reflected faintly in the undergrowth, yet the bond forming between human and princess made fear retreat. Each glance we shared reinforced trust, every brush of her hand a reminder that we were stronger together. Even the alien foliage seemed to shimmer under her presence. She had become the shield and compass I never knew I needed. The deeper we went, the jungle grew wilder, enormous fungi and alien ferns crowding our path, dripping with acidic moisture. Ilara signaled silently, pointing toward a narrow ravine. As a safer route, her intuition seeming to read the jungle itself. I led villagers along cautiously, improvising bridges and securing vines, relying on her guidance. Humans endure through observation, patience, and collaboration, yet her calm decisiveness made the impossible seem achievable. Predators prowled among twisted roots, but her presence transformed anxiety into focus. Villagers whispered admiration. For her bravery, their fear replaced with determination. Even in the heat of alien humidity, her hand brushing mine sent warmth and assurance. Acid rain fell harder, creating hissing puddles. Yet we pressed forward without faltering. Each moment of danger solidified trust beyond words. Her courage had become the steady flame leading all of us. A sudden screech pierced the humid air as a pack of predators circled our narrow path, their luminous eyes glinting through the mist. Ilara immediately positioned humans behind roots and moss-covered rocks while she advanced, her movements precise and protective. I assisted, coordinating traps and diversions, heart pounding but steadied by her calm. Humans survive by strategy, vigilance, and teamwork, but her fearless presence elevated every instinct I had. Acid rain splashed down in streaks, hissing, against armor and wet leaves, creating urgency with every movement. Villagers followed her instructions flawlessly, inspired by both awe and trust. Every glance she cast my way reminded me that courage could be born of love and loyalty. The predators lunged, but her precise commands allowed us to repel them without casualties. Even the twisting roots that blocked our escape became tools for defense under her guidance. Her courage made the jungle's danger feel like a challenge, not a death sentence. The next morning, sunlight broke through thick clouds, casting shafts of golden light across the wet, root-laden jungle floor. Ilara moved among the villagers, offering water, food, and encouragement, her subtle gestures radiating empathy alongside authority. Humans endure through resilience, observation, and hope, and her example reminded everyone that courage comes in many forms. I coordinated with scouts to reinforce paths, her quiet guidance elevating every decision. Predators remained nearby, yet her presence instilled confidence in every human heart. Twisting roots blocked easy movement, but her ability to see opportunity in obstacles inspired all of us. Acid rain left reflective puddles that glimmered in the morning light, painting the jungle with ethereal beauty. Villagers repaired small shelters and reinforced bridges, motivated by her combination of bravery and gentle care. Each shared glance between us strengthened unspoken trust. Even in the dense, dangerous jungle, her courage illuminated the way. By midday, the acid rain returned, thick and sizzling against leaves and armor, forcing us to move under a shroud of mist. Ilara led a team to secure higher ground, her eyes scanning the jungle with uncanny precision. Humans survive through ingenuity, adaptability, and courage, yet her calm presence made every human act decisively. I followed her lead, coordinating patrols and guiding villagers over treacherous routes. Every touch of her hand or glance reassured me, transforming fear into a steady determination. Predators prowled silently, yet her presence made them seem like obstacles, not threats. Villagers mimicked her measured movements, inspired by her example. Twisting roots threatened to trip us, but she always found a way through. Each passing hour reinforced my admiration and trust. Her courage had become the pulse guiding our survival. Dusk approached, and the jungle seemed to hold its breath as distant roars echoed among the trees. Ilara signaled humans to secure the perimeter while she scouted a safer path ahead, her gaze sharp and unwavering. Humans endure by vigilance, strategy, and collaboration, and her presence magnified every instinct and action I had learned. Acid rain had lessened, leaving damp leaves and reflective puddles underfoot. Twisting roots blocked several paths, yet her calm leadership made every detour navigable. I assisted her, coordinating traps and guiding villagers, heart-pounding but steadied by trust. Every glance exchanged reinforced the unspoken bond between us. Predators hesitated in the shadows, sensing authority and courage radiating from her. Even the alien flora seemed to shimmer under her influence. Her courage had become the beacon that guided all of us safely forward. Night fell, and the jungle came alive with bioluminescent flora casting eerie glows over twisted roots and misty paths. Ilara moved silently, checking traps and reassuring humans, her presence steady and comforting. Humans survive through observation, resilience, and adaptability, and her calm leadership elevated every human action. I followed, coordinating patrols, and monitoring predator movements, my fear replaced with focus. Acid rain returned as a light drizzle, sizzling faintly, yet it no longer felt threatening. Villagers whispered quietly, inspired by her unwavering courage and subtle gestures of care. Twisting roots, once obstacles, became pathways under her guidance. Every step beside her strengthened the bond forming between human and alien princess. Even in darkness, her courage illuminated the way. The jungle, hostile and alive, felt conquerable when we moved together. Predators circled closer as we neared a river crossing, drawn by the scent of humans and the shimmer of energy from our traps. Ilara positioned humans along strategic points, her eyes scanning every shadow while I coordinated patrols and barricades. Humans endure through planning, courage, and collaboration, yet her presence gave every action a precision and confidence beyond training. Acid rain fell steadily, sizzling, against wet leaves, armor, and roots, creating an urgent, hissing rhythm. Twisting roots blocked easy passage, but her careful guidance turned them into protective barriers. Villagers followed her silently, inspired by her strength and subtle warmth. Every glance she cast me reinforced trust and courage. Predators lunged, but her calm control allowed us to repel them. Even amidst the chaos, her presence made fear seem like a distant memory. Her courage had become the compass leading all of us through danger. By midnight, we had secured the river crossing, predators forced to retreat deeper into the jungle shadows. Elara checked on every human and villager, offering gentle reassurances and quiet encouragement. Humans survive through vigilance, unity, and hope, and her example reminded every human present that bravery was rooted in care as much as skill. I stood beside her, exhausted yet steadied by her presence, feeling a surge of courage I had never known. Twisting roots blocked our escape in multiple directions, but her leadership and fearlessness made every path navigable. Acid rain had lessened to a drizzle, leaving sparkling droplets on leaves and armor. Villagers whispered gratitude, inspired by her unwavering courage. Every shared glance and subtle touch reinforced our bond. Even the hostile jungle seemed tamed under her influence. Her courage had not only guided us, it had inspired a revolution of bravery in everyone present. The morning fog clung heavily to the jungle, making every step slippery and uncertain. Elara led the way, moving with silent precision through the dense undergrowth, her glowing eyes scanning for predators and hidden hazards. I followed closely, coordinating humans and villagers, my confidence bolstered by her calm and authoritative presence. Twisting roots blocked several potential paths, but her intuition guided us along safer routes. Humans endure through observation, patience, and ingenuity, yet her courage magnified every instinct I had. Acid rain had begun to fall again, sizzling faintly as it hit armor and leaves. Every touch of her hand, brief but grounding, reminded me that survival and trust were intertwined. Predators lurked in shadowed hollows, yet her steady gaze made fear feel manageable. Villagers moved with quiet determination, inspired by her example. Each step forward felt guided by her courage, transforming uncertainty into calculated action. A sudden roar echoed through the jungle as a massive predator emerged from a nearby ridge, its acid-resistant scales shimmering in the rain. Elara signaled humans to defensive positions while she advanced, moving with a balance of lethal precision and protective care. I activated hidden traps, timing them perfectly under her guidance, heart pounding yet steady from trust. Humans survive through strategy, vigilance, and teamwork, and her presence made each maneuver feel instinctual. Acid rain drummed heavily on the canopy, adding urgency and masking our movements. Villagers followed her instructions without hesitation, their confidence rooted in her calm authority. Every glance she gave me strengthened the unspoken bond growing between us. Predators lunged and were diverted by carefully laid traps, yet her focus never wavered. Even the twisted roots that blocked paths became advantageous obstacles under her command. Her courage turned the jungle's menace into a controlled battlefield. By midday, the jungle grew denser, massive alien ferns and towering fungi crowding our path, making movement slow and dangerous. Elara paused briefly to assess potential. Predator ambush points, her hand lightly touching mine in reassurance. Humans endure by combining courage, observation, and quick thinking, yet her presence made each decision sharper. I guided scouts to reinforce paths and set up safe zones, inspired by the efficiency and care she demonstrated. Acid rain fell intermittently, sizzling on leaves and reflecting in puddles on the jungle floor. Predators circled cautiously, aware of our preparedness, yet her calm demeanor inspired the humans to act decisively. Villagers mimicked her careful yet confident movements, learning courage from her example. Every shared glance reinforced trust. Every subtle touch conveyed reassurance. Twisting roots, once obstacles, now offered strategic cover. The jungle seemed to bend around her presence, acknowledging her as both guide and protector. Dusk arrived, and shadows stretched across the wet jungle floor, predators prowling silently in the mist. Ilara directed humans and villagers to safer terrain, her movements precise, each instruction a blend of command and care. Humans survive by staying vigilant, planning, and working together, and her example made everyone sharper, braver. Acid rain returned, light at first, then heavier, hissing as it hit metal, leaves, and roots, increasing the stakes. Twisting roots blocked direct paths, but she always found creative ways through. I coordinated defenses, my confidence amplified by her steady guidance. Every time our hands brushed, a quiet reassurance passed between us, strengthening resolve. Villagers followed silently, inspired by her unwavering bravery. Predators hesitated, sensing authority and confidence radiating from her. Even in near darkness, her courage illuminated the way forward. Night fell fully, and the jungle glowed with bioluminescent flora, casting an eerie luminescence over twisted roots and misty terrain. Ilara moved among the humans, quietly checking traps, guiding movements, offering comfort to those frightened by shadows. Humans endure by observation, adaptability, and courage, and her steady presence taught each person to trust both themselves and her. Acid rain pattered on leaves, sizzling faintly, yet fear no longer held us in its grip. Twisting roots, once barriers, now served as shields and support under her guidance. Every glance exchanged reinforced trust, every subtle touch a silent promise of protection. Predators prowled, cautious and calculating, yet her authority made them hesitate. Villagers moved efficiently, inspired by her example. Even the jungle, alive and dangerous, seemed tempered by her courage. Her presence had transformed uncertainty into confidence, fear into focus, and chaos into strategy. The next morning, heavy rain returned, acid droplets sizzling against wet armor and jungle foliage. Ilara coordinated humans and villagers, assigning patrols and safe zones, her calm authority keeping all organized. Humans survive through leadership, vigilance, and courage, and her example inspired every movement. I helped reinforce bridges and clear paths blocked by twisting roots, guided by her intuition. Predators lurked, but her presence made every hazard feel manageable. Villagers followed each instruction, motivated by her blend of empathy and fearlessness. Each touch of her hand or shared glance strengthened the bond forming between us. Acid rain created reflective puddles across the jungle floor, highlighting the treacherous terrain. Twisting roots, mossy and slippery, became tools for strategic advantage. Her courage had become a beacon, guiding all of us safely through danger. By midday, a massive predator attempted an ambush from the canopy, acid-resistant scales glinting in the stormy light. Ilara quickly repositioned humans and villagers, moving with a fluid combination of protective care and lethal precision. Humans endure through strategy, observation, and bravery, and her presence made me act decisively and confidently. I triggered traps and coordinated defensive maneuvers, heart pounding, but steadied by her guidance. Acid rain fell heavily, hissing on leaves, roots, and armor, intensifying the tension. Twisting roots blocked simple escape routes, but she navigated expertly, transforming obstacles into advantages. Villagers executed her instructions flawlessly, inspired by both courage and subtle warmth. Every shared glance reinforced our trust, each movement of hers guiding us toward survival. Even the predators seemed to hesitate, recognizing her authority and calm. Her courage had become the steady pulse leading us through the jungle chaos. Dusk approached again, the jungle alive with distant roars and rustling undergrowth. Ilara checked every path and trap, ensuring humans and villagers were safe, moving with careful confidence. Humans survive by vigilance, adaptability, and unity, and her calm presence taught us courage in action. Acid rain returned in intermittent sheets, hissing and steaming across leaves and armor, yet we moved with precision. Twisting roots blocked many obvious paths, but her guidance made every choice strategic. I coordinated patrols and reinforced barricades, heart steady from trust. In her judgment, every time our hands brushed, a quiet reassurance passed between us. Villagers moved with calm determination, inspired by her bravery. Predators hesitated, sensing her authority and the humans' coordination. Even the dense, wet jungle seemed less threatening under her steady gaze. Night fell fully, and the jungle glowed under bioluminescent flora, mist rising from puddles, reflecting alien light. Ilara moved among humans and villagers, checking traps, offering encouragement, and ensuring safety. Humans endure through observation, teamwork, and courage, and her presence elevated every action and decision. Acid rain had softened to a drizzle, creating reflective surfaces on leaves and roots. Twisting roots that blocked our escape now served as barricades and cover under her careful guidance. Every glance exchanged reinforced trust, every hand touch a silent promise. Predators remained hidden but cautious, sensing authority in her movements. Villagers followed every instruction, inspired by her bravery and subtle warmth. Even in the darkness, her courage illuminated the way. Her heart had become the guiding light for all of us. Dawn barely penetrated the jungle canopy as a massive predator descended from the treetops, acid-resistant scales glinting in wet leaves. Ilara immediately signaled humans to defensive positions while advancing with lethal precision, her hand brushing mine for reassurance. Humans endure through observation, strategy, and courage, yet her presence made every instinct sharper. Twisting roots blocked escape paths, but she moved as though reading the jungle itself. Acid rain streaked the forest, sizzling on armor and leaves, adding urgency to every action. Villagers followed her orders flawlessly, inspired by her blend of courage and care. Every glance we exchanged reinforced trust. Every touch sent strength. Predators lunged, yet her guidance allowed us to repel them without casualties. Even the jungle's thickest roots became tactical assets under her command. Her courage had become a living force, guiding all of us forward. Mid-morning brought relentless rain, acid drops hissing on foliage and armor, creating mist that clung to the jungle floor. Ilara moved among humans and villagers, placing patrols and guiding each movement, her calm authority radiating through. The storm. Humans survived through vigilance, adaptability, and unity, and her courage elevated every human action. I assisted in reinforcing traps, heart steadied by her confidence. Twisting roots that blocked our paths were now shields and cover under her precise direction. Predators prowled the undergrowth, cautious but relentless. Yet her presence transformed fear into coordinated strategy. Villagers mirrored her careful, confident motions, inspired by her bravery and subtle warmth. Every glance, every touch between us strengthened trust and resolve. The jungle, once threatening, now felt like a domain to navigate strategically. Her courage had become our compass, illuminating every choice in the storm. By midday, a pack of predators attempted to flank our position near the river crossing, their glowing eyes cutting through mist. Ilara directed humans and villagers to advantageous terrain, her movements fluid and decisive. Humans endure through strategy, observation, and courage, and her calm leadership gave everyone a sense of unshakable confidence. Twisting roots blocked easy paths, but she found creative ways to maneuver through them, transforming obstacles into opportunities. Acid rain fell steadily, hissing as it struck leaves and armor, heightening tension. Villagers moved efficiently, inspired by her blend of fearlessness and subtle care. Every time our hands brushed while moving, a surge of reassurance and courage passed between us. Predators lunged only to fall into traps coordinated by her guidance. Even the jungle seemed to yield under her authority and calm. Her courage had turned chaos into opportunity, fear into action. Dusk approached, and the jungle's shadows grew long and ominous, predators prowling silently in anticipation. Ilara checked traps and paths, ensuring villagers and humans were safe, her gaze calm yet vigilant. Humans survive through observation, adaptability, and courage, yet her presence magnified every human skill and instinct. Acid rain fell lightly, sizzling faintly, the mist reflecting flashes of energy traps and wet leaves. Twisting roots that blocked our path now served as cover for coordinated defense. Villagers followed every instruction with quiet determination, inspired by her bravery and subtle warmth. Every glance exchanged reinforced trust. Every touch communicated reassurance. Predators hesitated, sensing authority in her movements. Even the alien jungle, dangerous and unpredictable, seemed tamed under her presence. Her courage had become the heart of our survival, the pulse guiding every step. Night fell, casting a bioluminescent glow over wet leaves and twisting roots, mist curling between massive trees. Ilara moved among humans, checking traps and offering quiet encouragement, her calm authority steadying everyone. Humans endure through unity, vigilance, and courage, and her example reminded all of us that bravery can grow from care and trust. Acid rain pelted the jungle, sizzling faintly, yet fear had become manageable under her guidance. Twisting roots, once barriers, now offered protection and strategic advantages. Villagers followed her example, inspired by her blend of courage and empathy. Every brush of her hand sent reassurance, every glance strengthened trust. Predators remained hidden but wary, sensing the authority and coordination she radiated. Even in darkness, her courage illuminated the way forward. Her presence transformed survival into shared triumph. The following dawn brought the final confrontation, predators attacking in coordinated packs, acid rain streaking through the jungle canopy. Ilara directed humans with precision, her hand, brushing mine as we coordinated traps and movements. Humans survive through strategy, vigilance, and courage, and her example elevated every action. Twisting roots blocked easy retreat, but her sharp instincts revealed safer, tactical routes. Villagers executed every instruction flawlessly, inspired by her calm bravery and subtle warmth. Predators lunged, yet every movement was anticipated and countered. Acid rain fell hard, sizzling against armor and leaves, yet her presence made every challenge navigable. Every glance we shared reaffirmed trust and courage. Even the chaotic jungle seemed subdued under her authority. Her courage had become a shield, a guide, and a force of inspiration for all. Mid-morning, the battle reached its climax, predators retreating into thick foliage as humans and villagers held positions with precision. Ilara moved among us, adjusting traps, giving encouragement, and guiding the group forward. Humans endure through leadership, observation, and adaptability, and her presence made all of us braver than we imagined. Twisting roots blocked clear sight lines, yet she used them strategically, turning obstacles into protection. Acid rain had softened to a drizzle, creating reflective surfaces that highlighted the wet, tangled jungle floor. Villagers followed her silently, inspired by courage born of empathy and authority. Every hand, touch, and glance strengthened the bond forming between us. Predators hesitated, sensing authority in her movements. Even the jungle seemed to yield to her calm control. Her courage had become the unifying force of the battle. By late afternoon, the jungle finally fell into quiet, mist curling from leaves, predators gone, the villagers safe. Ilara moved among humans, offering reassurance and subtle encouragement, her calm presence grounding everyone. Humans survive through vigilance, resilience, and courage, and her leadership had elevated each human instinct to its fullest. Twisting Roots, once barriers, now marked paths we could traverse safely. Acid rain had stopped, leaving sparkling puddles that reflected bioluminescent jungle light. Every glance we exchanged reinforced trust and connection. Every touch sent strength and warmth. Villagers whispered gratitude, inspired by her bravery and subtle guidance. Even the alien jungle, dense and dangerous, seemed peaceful under her watch. Her courage had transformed fear into confidence, chaos into strategy, and darkness into light. The path ahead felt navigable because she had led us. Night fell, serene after the storm, the jungle alive with glowing flora and the gentle rustle of nocturnal creatures. Alara and I stood together on a ridge, surveying the terrain, hands intertwined, heartbeats aligned. Humans endure through courage, unity, and leadership, and her example had instilled all three in me. Twisting roots blocked no longer, the jungle now felt like a shared domain to navigate and protect. Acid rain had ceased, leaving a reflective sheen on leaves and roots, sparkling under moonlight. Villagers moved quietly below, reassured by her presence and guidance. Every glance and subtle touch between us reinforced an unspoken promise of trust and devotion. Predators remained in shadows, but no longer seemed threatening. Even the chaotic jungle now appeared tamed, its dangers manageable. Her courage had not only guided us, it had inspired a bravery in everyone present, and a love that anchored me.